Good evening, everyone. Got a couple of hours free, so I figured I'd get a little further into Disco Elysium. Last left off, wrapping up some other issues, and then also finish things up by playing some pinball.
The machine is dead and silent. It needs serious maintenance before anyone can play again.
Anyways, let's see. Got everything else. This goes.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperaskit. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
Okay.
He doesn't.
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. It's strange that he doesn't like pinball.
Hold on. Missing. Check, I can't redo like that.
All these feels like it might.
Some kind.
Dior, the lieutenant grimaces, looking at.
No.
He doesn't.
You can't.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi.
What?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
So now he remembers.
What?
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science fiction, and historic romance franchise.
Wait, but you were impressed when I beat the other game.
It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring.
Pinball
As
ring?
you do
What?
when you're a juvie cop. It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
Not gonna call him these things.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents. Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too.
Fair
Now,
enough.
we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Yeah, I'm glad I went back and did that. That was...
is dimly lit.
I guess he doesn't like it, but I thought that was cool.
The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it. At the end of the last century, look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
You see, he tries to be like this, like very like serious cop, and then he says something like this, and I'm like, all right,
It
buddy.
appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
Of
A
course.
small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long, long time ago.
Well, it worked. Hello.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
Aw.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Aw.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways. This print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. It is not a brand sole with logos on it. It seems custom-made or old-fashioned.
No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
That is a good point. I was going to say these are the same, but this is a good point. It could be that the same person has different shoes.
Between that and that.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, leading to the roof, from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer.
Interesting.
This is the barred door you tried to kick in before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Class about this route. See how she reacts?
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly and reads science fiction.
Yeah, see, you can find his little nerdy tendencies if you pay enough attention. So, hi.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Oh,
Did you take the documents?
no, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you. You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away. I really don't know, sir. I certainly don't feel like I've won. I feel like shit, sir. All the time.
I don't know. I just...
How well could it have turned out for me? I mean...
The snow falls on her shoulders, then melts in her light blonde hair, cold and soft.
I'm stuck in Martinez just like all of us. I've been up here for... I don't know how long now. I like to call this my rooftop containment facility. The what? Oh, those ones. I don't know, sir. I said I have no idea what to make of them. Honestly, I think they're just trash. I mean, there's no reason for me to think they're somehow connected to her. For my sins, of course. The long-standing sins of a bad, frivolous person. For destroying my first love. For working for bad people. The list goes on and on.
I mean, she almost did.
Did I? Why do I still feel suspicion hanging over me then?
Yeah.
What I managed was to get him killed. I understand that.
The lieutenant looks away, over the railing.
I don't know what to say. None of this is fortuitous for me.
Yeah, I think they were barking up the wrong tree here. Like, I understand that there's something weird going on with her, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to add up right.
She nods, slowly, carefully even. There is suddenly a strange glint in her eyes. Not malicious, but dangerous.
Yeah, I don't... There's something about her, but I don't think it's this. It feels like it's something else.
Two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex.
It is weird that she didn't react to me coming out of the door, though. There wasn't an option for talking to her about it. I'll just go out this way, I guess.
Hey.
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. Another thing. Great. I love those. Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He's really, really holding himself back here. It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
Oh, he totally wants
He
to.
was wondering about something business-related, about how much money he could make of one.
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. The machine we have in the corner now is broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here, other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now.
Fair enough.
Yes?
Alright, so... these guys, if they know anything about it.
The Copper NATO is back. What do you want? Yeah? What?
Guess he's not interested.
Any-
Kind of surprised how little that end up. There's something else I was supposed to do. No, I guess that was it. Alright, so this one will happen with this one. That will happen in several hours. Oh yeah, we're gonna. I don't know about this one. Don't know about this one. I know what to do about that one. We'll do that. I guess I'll do this one after I wrap up this one. Okay. So this will be easy enough. Just gotta talk to this guy again.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison! Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Kuno doesn't.
Of course you would stash it in there. Wait, no, but it is experience, so I still want it.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows, like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Yes, precisely.
I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough. If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
I don't like that noise.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah. Kuno took the bugs, so what? It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
Maybe I am.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Kuno made Kuno. Kuno says whatever the fuck he wants. There are no rules here, pig. I fucking say I when I wanna, and Kuno when I wanna. Kuno's free. Kuno's free to fucking die, bitch.
This is what he sometimes does when things get tense.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in like 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
I love that manipulation sort of works and yet it doesn't.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
We don't need
Don't make
that.
yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
He recognizes the name.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
One moment. Alright, I'm back.
Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday, and critique architecture. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with this.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
I don't know if you get any of these, though. I mean, sure, I could replace them with Wompty Dompty Dom Center, which would be hilarious, but, you know. I don't know. Think about it. Oh, right.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm.
Dang.
So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
You know what? Now I want to know.
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both. Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does. Indeed, my methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
I mean, okay, to talk about this for a second. For the most part, like, yeah, like, okay, chasing after weird bugs that probably don't exist. But, you know, I don't mind that there are people who are out there, like, looking for weird things. Because you never know. And you can't absolutely prove without a doubt that they don't exist. They probably don't exist. But, you know, this guy wants to go looking for weird bugs that may or may not exist out in the field, then more power to him. But, you know, temper that with some, you know, understanding that a lot of people are also working off of stuff that is a bit more grounded.
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid. Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection. Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching. Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
As long as he's not hurting
He has
anybody,
clearly
sure,
done
whatever.
his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Yes? So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid or the missing locust. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season when it's warmer.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He wants to see this tale through as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after this.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites. We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
Their relationship transcends Gary's politics. It must, to work. Plus, a guy like Morel knows a thing or two about being on the fringes himself, though his fringes are different.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
Oh yeah, that's dull.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here. You probably have. Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove. I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
You know, as long as he's doing
he makes
that.
it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Mm-hmm. The sound falsifiable.
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
The woman nods thoughtfully, while her hands smooth over the plaid covering her knees. There is some uncertainty in that motion, no? Smoothing the fabric like that, as if looking for some kind of confirmation.
By all means.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again.
Okay, well, that's easy enough. It was the last one. We went check the other ones and then went to the last one. think it was this way. Yeah, this way.
The trap stands empty near the reeds, powdered with snow. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
I can't fast travel now. What if I get what determines when you can and can't fast travel in this game? Hello.
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, "A primer for small kids." There's a bear involved.
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score, get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life. The alphabet. Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows. A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete. H is for homeboy. I is for econ.
Hey, I wasn't expecting
J
that one.
is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion. Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y
Xylophone?
is for Ustava. Z is for zenith. That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
No way. I don't know why. We have that, but I was amused by it, so I'm okay with it. Do you have anything else to do? So I think I can just head back.
All the traps are stopped now. And
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud.
No, you don't have to do that. Enough of this fool's errand. Morel will do it. Or Gary. You have work to do. I've wasted enough of everyone's time.
Be real. Gary is not going to help with this.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
I was going to say the cough is probably something else.
Different? How? I'm not. It's not that. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
Oh boy.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Seeing the Insulindian Phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the Phasmid's existence that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
You know, like I said earlier, as long as he's not hurting anybody, but he also shouldn't be hurting himself.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the Phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
You know, this reminds you of the Pericanassian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. Generation by generation, our love remains in our progeny. Lay some of that on her.
And this seems cheesy, but this just seems depressing, so I guess we'll go with this one.
Sweetie, I don't think the Pericarnassians were thinking of people in my situation. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived, on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
We need to be positive here.
Maybe, but then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it, lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is, the Insulindian Phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but... Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be
A waste of time. A lie. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
We should go to...
Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind shakes the felled building, rattling dusty windows, beckoning with strange coldness. To ask the wind once more.
All right. Guess it's go time to check out this. I'm gonna go check out this mural.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
Apparently I have to like dance until I drop first.
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too.
That's true.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
Keep searching the coast, huh? I mean, we could ask people.
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't
Oh, right.
help you with this one.
So you haven't seen anyone?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Sure. What's on your mind? They use them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
But of course, what else?
I mean, I don't really know what else to do.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling. Still calling. Again. Seriously. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
No, but I got a feeling I'll kick your ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. Calling.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Calling. Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man.
What?
I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
Oh, that's gonna end in tears. This is gonna end up with him hanging up on me. This would be funny. I might end up with something interesting, but I might also seriously screw someone over doing it.
You got the wrong number. Don't call here again.
Disconnect tone.
Yeah, all right. What fun it is to just dial random numbers. I don't think there's anything else I can really do, though. Like, I might just go back to the... I can try this.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while.
Already got a +2 to interfacing. I don't think it's going to get that much higher.
An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, Then push on
What?
the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Wow. I rolled a double 6 and I still failed.
We don't get in there. Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
At least you can think about opening it, about doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful would come from this.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way. It's military. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast.
Yeah.
She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it.
I have to get this one open. What do I have to give up? Let's see. I'm not using those. And it's giving me a -1 to logic. I gotta get that door open.
Just dead and dying locusts and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. I do really like this music. The right just atmosphere for walking around this slightly strange world.
guess I already found whatever was going to be up here.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing. A cold sea wind.
See those. I've already been this way. The only thing I can think of is to go back and talk to the villagers again. I think one of them was going to let me borrow a boat or something.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Oh? Who? Okay. Oh.
See what he's saying there.
Yes, that's... Sorry I couldn't help you out. Really? A lot of stuff. You're back. Good. What can I help you?
You know what? Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Just had to step away to take care of something right quick. I don't know what to do. I have to go back to the mural and try again. Nothing else in here, right?
The bed is comforting. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face.
Interesting that it
You're still not
does
accustomed
assist
to it.
with trying to get rid of the expression.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and try it again. Sure, kids won't believe me this one.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay, why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 33 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Something popped up down here.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the Feld building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. The pipe is sleek with rain. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side. And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely. and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around. And it's right here, a maintenance door.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one. Oh yeah, big boy time. This needs you to put your back into it. You and the lieutenant lean all your weight into pushing the doors apart, but you're not quite synchronizing your efforts. They slam shut again before you can enter.
Let's take a breather and try this again later. It's very tough.
I mean, there might be a third way. Let's poke around a bit before we commit to this. Can't go that way. Can ask them if they've seen anything.
Hello again. How to climb that ladder, you see? I do know that Lomantangs used sticks to climb battlements. There's even a special technique for that. No, I'm just speculating theoretically here. Of course, there's also the method ancient Ilmarans used to get into the huts of their enemies. If I'm not mistaken, then it involved months of following a very rigid exercise regimen. No, years. In this case, I suggest looking into the Zeolite Invisibles class. The word refers to their remarkable ability to traverse any environment in the most efficient way possible. There's this excellent investigative piece of journalism by... Yes, I have. There was this one time where I...
Mark my words. All of this somehow ties into the history of Occidental financial markets.
Alternative? I don't even have a mainstream way in, I'm afraid, although there's a sewage pipe there. Maybe that does something? Sorry, I can't help more.
Pipes can be broken with force. A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180? Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
What?
Teleportation is not a thing. Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to create a teleportation field? You can't just do it without apparatus.
What are they talking about?
Kids like...
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Aha. This is 12. You know what? Let's give it a shot.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bang! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring without backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
All right. I gotta admit, I did not expect that to actually work. I thought we were just going to get something goofy and then he was still going to be at the bottom of the ladder. I didn't expect him to actually make it up. That's great. I'm gonna save. How did he do that? Jeez. Postcard. Flashlight's a good idea. I forgot I didn't have the bag equipped, so I couldn't pick up the bottles that I saw. Class. Ooh, suit jacket.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
It's much easier from this side. The panels on the rails slide once you dust the sand off. With the help of your partner, from the other side, the doors open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes, time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Not running is a great way to do that.
I don't think I ran. Did I run? Area.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Yes. Looks like some latter-day radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Interesting. Alright, well. Those footprints? This way?
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
We absolutely cannot skip that appointment. Consider that 100% confirmed. I fear you'll need your gun for this.
His hand rests on his holster. It's not enough. You need a gun in your hand too. Your gun.
It's not for 7 more hours.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Ready, Union and cryptozoology business might end with do. Interesting. this. Hmm. Come back tonight. Let's get the gun. Like, if they said it was that important, maybe we come back. That means I have to kill, like, 6 hours, but... Okay. I don't really know what to do with this one. And I haven't seen anything where I can do these. I don't know how to locate a working firearm. Maybe that's around the canal. I'm guessing that means... Do you have anything new to say?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other what?
Yes. Yes.
This one doesn't say anything.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. The other one laughs. Wow. The stone kicking isn't even of very high caliber.
Alright. These guys have anything else to say? They were just drunks.
Damn cool, Abigail. Abigail? Abigail?
Hey, Tequila. Welcome to reality. How's it? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang.
It's good to hear that you're on top of things. Talking about used to, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker? Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land.
Oh wow, he just calls
Haven't
himself
found those
that.
keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
What?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be? Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk.
Okay.
Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Oh, is this...
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things." Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
The muscles in your right leg tense up. Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila Sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone. No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
All right.
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
Oh.
How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
All right.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Yeah.
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the coalition. You said being a cop was real boring and that there was no reason to talk about it. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temple, saying, boring, boring, boring. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. We are saving the world.
Uh-huh.
Please! Please don't go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower.
You did?
But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. Whoop-de-doo. So now, I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum. It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. A little motivational package. Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier.
Oh.
So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. Classy.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder / junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff.
Uh-huh.
I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours. It helped, truly. With my trusty Sansarique Lycra tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox. which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on.
Something about this story is starting
I
to
don't
sound
begrudge
fishy.
them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity.
Yeah.
I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day.
Really?
And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me. So they tossed me in jail for 2 days.
What?
I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. This would explain a lot. I always believed it wasn't my fault that I ended up homeless on the beach with these two bums. God bless them, though. I'd be alone without them. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
A lost jacket? Sounds like a mystery you could look into.
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing. The color red, breasts, and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
Sounds intriguing. What say you, Articot? If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising. Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe we were behind the curve? We were fucking rich, though, that much I know. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim?
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style. It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier. Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Really?
One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
All psyche checks unlocked. Interesting. -1 half-light.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style. It's just, well, you look more like a high-flying businessman than a police officer.
That's right. You're an entrepreneur of the peace, here to disrupt legacy law enforcement with buzzwords and privatization schemes.
There's nothing wrong with it per se. It's just a little much. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, those are both really mean.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too. See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy. Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It was. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead fingers. It's like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila,
The
What's left is this
steaks?
beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it.
Don't say it.
3 real and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Well done. You got it. That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Son, you will not kill yourself with this. Not today. So we're going to store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
Sure, friend. You know it.
Yeah, Rosie was there too, for your ocean-based antics.
Mm.
We all were. Unforgettable night.
Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Aye, that's what I said. Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Alright, I'm off. Sells for 6. That's a $3 profit. And I did manage to kill some time. Fighting this thing. I want to say they said it was around the bridge that we crossed. I think. I got all the stuff that was over. Oh, I didn't get everything here. Well, I think some of this stuff just regenerates after a bit. Or like it only shows up on certain days. Okay. Apparently not.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
As Rene turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly. 2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun. A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frizzle I. A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frizzle I during the Revolution.
For bravery. For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
Uh-huh.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frizzle thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
You can. It's very asinine.
Mm.
He really despises that Drisson fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camo.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Couronne. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw.
Ugh.
Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
It's painful to even think about.
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnaud, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Drisson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. He didn't. I hoisted the prick on my back and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frizzle to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it.
Yeah, it kind of seems like that's the case.
Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving.
You know.
And 782 Royal Carabiniers are dead because of his incompetence.
Whoa, man-loving? Is that even a word? It is not. The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drisson. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
Sorry, officer, but you're reading me all wrong. I'm a man of peace, and these kinds of bloody heroics are only impressive to men like René himself. Certainly not to me. How did you find the story to be, officer?
Eh. I mean, he doesn't seem like... He seems like he's done a number of things that weren't great. Or he has a bunch of opinions that weren't great. But he did go out of his way to help someone. Great personal cost to himself.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't hand this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too.
Yeah.
Really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand. Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Look ridiculous. It does give me a +4 to drama. Which I think I'm going to need to make this check because it's pretty bad. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, that isn't an actual skill. I was gonna say.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anything worth mentioning among your achievements. You should resort to good old lying. But of course, sire. Looks like they're waiting for you to speak.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Oh, I guess I can't retry that one, so I just failed. Oh well. It didn't seem super important. Yeah, this is fine.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
Suddenly you realize how hungry you are. The last time you ate must have been God knows when. Aeons ago. Probably when you were still a child. The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft. In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below. And is that mayonnaise?
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
No. He needs to keep his blood sugar stable, then that one's... I guess if I have to pick one, I'll pick one of these.
Fuck off! It's mine!
A glimmer of respect flashes in Rene's eyes.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share.
And it's gone.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? You're a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
I don't actually want his sandwich that badly. I don't know. It seemed like a good sandwich, but if he needs it, then he should eat it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't actually know where this tape that Egghead is looking for is. I think they mentioned something about a tree by the canal or something. I don't know. I'm gonna check it.
All the old boomboxes are there, blinking and wait. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
You see rows of toy soldiers.
Oh, maybe this is it.
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze. Just like promised, you've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102. Underneath a slogan, mankind, be vigilant. You tree-hugging pansy. The bronze ribbon twists around and within the branches in an intricately natural pattern. But there's something. There's a twisted logic in this mess. You see the ends of the ribbon, the way it flows, how it twists and turns. It's all starting to make sense. It'll be easier to remove now. With slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it, so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this.
What's the tape for? How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it? You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the pawn shop uses similar tape.
Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of have to waste time because I think I need to get my gun before going to this next part of the story, and that's not happening for another 5 hours.
Hello, hello. You mean Reese Pooley? Yeah, I do, but I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless. Huh? What do you mean? Yes, what about it? Is it any good? The music, I mean. Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Cool. Passed some time.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility. Okay.
Sometimes I just can't fast travel. Alright, it's getting kind of late, but I think we can at least get this done. This way. He goes this way.
Good morning! Yeah! Harder car! Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B!
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself? Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready? If only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough?
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits. Bring up the volume.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
I think you might know the answer.
But how?
What about that compressor Andre was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing?
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore.
Interfacing, huh?
Dark hardcore. Jermaine Egghead.
Basically, yes it is.
Interfacing, huh? The gloves give me +2 to interfacing. See if I can get it higher. Okay, so that's the highest it's going to get, I think. Hold on. Before I do this,
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
oh, so I'm not even given another chance to open this one.
In front of it.
Alright, well.
Good morning. Yeah. Hardcore.
goes the track in the background, never ending. You can't grasp what's missing. The young man bobs his head to the music, much.
Good morning! Yeah!
Sidechain the beat. Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals.
Yeah, that.
The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
I like how even the game is just explain that concept to him.
Sidechaining it, you said.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down with bliss, in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
I was born ready, Egg.
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together, it's unnatural.
Your body is taking a beating from the low frequencies crashing over you. It's making you feel alive again.
God damn it! This dance club idea might just work out.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
This is it. This is a new era. The fabric of the world has been irrevocably altered.
Good job, Egghead.
Oh, the god of dance is back! I'm dancing with the god of dance! Goodbye, officer.
Hard cop.
The reaction speed.
Yo, man. What's on your mind? The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus. Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical. Encasement, confinement of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it to contain it.
Interesting.
I don't know. And it's not something they properly understood either, what it does. But it's what this Sona person is looking for and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by, outside. Dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with. And if it can't, well, seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out, the struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here. I don't know, maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, Copman. Even I have limits. I'm a limited size person. Maybe you can figure things out, Copman. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well. Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of? I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner and a leveller. Made me a bit manic, you know. I regret the time I dedicated to that profession and that worker collective. I say things more as a member of the hardcore side dance community these days. Why? You're a cop. I carry carpentry tools. The mass murderer? Why? The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit. This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are. Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long-dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know? No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer. The anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. He is not accused of mass murder. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder. Just not her.
Fair enough.
Okay. Hard to say, Copman. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the crabman though. Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us. Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all.
Fair enough.
The man picks up on stuff. And he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him. Suspicious people are esoteric people. Who don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. It's short for paranoid. It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away. I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
No, Politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray, far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this.
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves. Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry.
This is a bit mean, but...
Mental illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element.
Interesting.
His eyes flicker.
A life is true if it's free from fear, an eternal division among oneself. In others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore. Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity. Appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion. Utmost dedication, thoughts from the spinal cord, is a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Thanks, Encyclopedia. I really needed to know that.
A concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore.
Hardcore!
I don't need to mention that part.
Maybe you're being too specific about it. Try consulting with your spinal cord, like before, when you pulled those primal dance moves.
Okay, fair point.
I'm sure the world was glad to see him again after all that time. Oh yeah, sure thing. They're hardcore. They're just clothes. Nah, it's just a vest of suspenders made to resemble a human rib cage. Plus some lady clothes to piss off the sex system. Now tell me about that hardcore necktie. It's fucking primal. It looks like you're trying to hang yourself with it. So large too. So many different patterns. It's crazy, man. I like it.
Respect to the man!
Alright, I'll give this a shot.
Aggressive, monotonous, but also somehow
Oh
sane,
well.
primitive, yet futuristic, like a machine, man. Nothing exists but the here and now.
I know how to do these three. I need 4 more hours before that one happens. Alright. This. I guess I could try some of these. But I think unless it's gonna let me fast travel. Oh, here we go. A while it'll work and sometimes it doesn't.
Every snowflake is like a little gift from the sky. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
No, your resilience. No, your mind. Not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. Somehow, there's something you're missing.
I guess that's the only one I have for suggestion.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week, sir. Sometimes without your shirt on, asking people questions. I haven't really understood what about.
Oh no.
Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party
Oh.
eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Oh baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Alright, well, whatever.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and by God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass.
I usually don't know anything.
This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Exactly. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course.
Cat. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? You getting ready for dinner?
I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
Hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into. The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette. Arno van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on. Just threw it away. And then it ended up in the hawthorn tree. But why? Did he think it was retrograde? It wasn't. Perhaps he caught a glimpse of the future and did not want for it to arrive just yet. Perhaps the city whispered the top line to him, and he was frightened by it.
Well, hey, you got to come inside.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Oh, that was nice of her. Yeah. Looking kind of snazzy. And then with power armor gloves. So I'm gonna do one more thing. Probably fail at it. But you know.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor like a dog for its master.
It's not much, but every little bit's gonna help.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor like a dog for its master.
No, nope.
You managed to hoist it off the ground.
No, that was a
The barbell
horrible
feels
roll.
wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. Even your body has failed you. It's a miracle you didn't injure yourself.
Weightlifting was never my favorite either. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Alright, well, it seems like the thing to do is to go and just, I guess, spend some time trying to get these ones they haven't already gotten. And maybe I can get something out of them. So I guess next time I'll try to spend a few hours. I'll go visit the novelty dice maker. I guess we'll try this cargo container door, even though this is probably impossible. Then hopefully we'll be able to get our gun back and then go confront the possible suspect of this case. So, yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for now, because Cat's gonna need to get dinner in a minute. I have to wrap up for the evening. So, hope you all have enjoyed this. Still having lots of fun with the game. Didn't make a ton of progress on the actual story, but that's okay. Found some interesting stuff to pass the time, and I think we'll keep going next time. So, yeah, that'll do it. Take care, and good night.